Hello everybody, Iain Robson here. Welcome back to Oklahoma, part 2. Anyways, what got going on today? That was supposed to be, we have a couple things going on today. Sheesh. Anyways, we're on field 51 up here in the northwest corner of the map, or almost northwest corner. And we're harvesting a little bit of wheat here. As you can see, a little bit of wheat. And we're just unloading into the farm number 2 here. Now, one of the funny things about this particular farm is that, or this particular map I should say, is that it does have like, I think it's 3 different farms? Yeah, 3 different farms here. And this is farm number 2, so you have like a whole second farm set up over on this side. So you can basically operate out of one farm or operate out of all 3. It just depends what your particular fancy is. I tend to operate out of the main farm primarily, but you do have the option of operating on the other farms too. And I believe this would be for silage with the harvestor. Silos. They look like nice silos though. You see a lot of those in real life, and West Steel ones. So here they have, this is the grain setup over here for this guy. They got a few of the, what would that be? Corn, canola, wheat, barley. That's why they have those 4 over there. And then they separate out the multi-fruits. So you have a couple of multi-fruits on this side over here. So you got sunflowers and soybeans over there, and then you have oats, sorghum, and rye over here. So I don't know why they separated over on this farm, but they didn't on the main farm. That's the confusing part for me, but that's the way they did it. So I don't know what the deal is there. And they did the same thing over on farm 3 too. So anyhow, let's go ahead and continue our harvest here. Oh goodness. Yeah, sometimes you kind of wonder like why certain a mapper chooses to do certain things like that. For example, like let's send him on his way here. Why certain mappers choose to do things like that, because it doesn't always make sense. Specifically when you have one main farm. Like, I guess the idea behind it would be on larger maps, you have on larger maps you don't need to go as far. So I don't know, what I kind of find myself doing is when I he's probably running into a tree. Oh yeah, he totally is. The thing I find is that when there's farms like around like that, I tend not to use overloaders nearly as much. Wow, really? He got that stuck. I tend not to use overloaders nearly as much, just because it's not necessary. Because you can just do what I'm doing right now and just have a truck go between wherever you want to go, basically. At least that's what I find. Like, it's not necessary to have overloaders or anything like that, because all the fields are relatively close to the farm, so it doesn't seem necessary to have anything, you know, have overloaders set up and stuff like that. That's just how I feel though. It just seems that way at least. So alright, so the way they have this one set up is that they have us like a building, and I'm really not a big fan of these buildings because you get stuck in the buildings, whether you're driving yourself, whether you have Courseplay do it for you. You can well, I find myself easily getting stuck without trying sometimes, so. But that's me, so. This is what this setup looks like over here. It's got the grain dryer again and all that jazz. There we go, nice. So it just depends on kind of what your preference is. I don't mind the layout of this farm, but I don't like it as much as the main farm. The main farm has its own problems, so maybe I'll tinker around with that today a little bit. Some more. I don't know. So far it's been okay, but I'm not sure exactly what it is. It's like there's some things that'll do it and other things won't. So anyways, is that Meridian? Oh, that's neat. That is Meridian. Are those, do they do anything, or are they just there for looks? Well, they're there for something. I'm not sure what it is, but they're there for something. Seeds, if I had to guess. As you can see, we do have enough money actually to buy a seeder, which is probably a good thing, because we actually don't have a seeder. And we don't need to seed the fields yet, but we will in the near future. I guess I should have turned the engine off there. Just sitting there, I'm like, la 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 la. I'm like, let's leave the engine on and refill this thing. Probably not the smartest idea I've had. I don't know, I'm not sure if it's the same for a diesel truck as it is with a as it is for the gasoline car. If you're a trucker out there, do you have to turn the engine off when you refill? I'm assuming you do, but I thought I'd ask first. Often some of those things like that aren't exactly the same. Like, what's a good example? One of the examples that comes to mind is with glow plugs versus spark plugs. I just want to check out this house is over here. I don't think I've ever been over in this random direction before. There's like a house here in the woods. Look at this. That's a random house. It's a nice little house, but it's pretty random. Looks like Spud's BMW. Almost. Yeah, that's a pretty nice little house, actually. There's no name on the front door, so guess we could claim it as our own. A little bit of far away to operate from, though, if you ask me. So let's go ahead and get that cedar before I forget about it. Let's go here in sewing machines. Now, we do have lots of options, as per usual. We could get these two, this guy, the 1770, but that only plants like corn, soybeans. I think it plants, what else does it plant? Corn, soybeans. It would do sugar beets, I guess, technically, and potatoes, but we're going to go for this guy because this is just too cool. Too cool for school. Actually, I did find a DB120 as well, which is the 120 foot one. So I'm going to go ahead and buy that. I'm just going to leave it at the shop for the time being because we don't need it quite yet, but I wanted to pick it up before I spent the money on something else. So let's go ahead and back this up here. Trying to take out this person's mailbox. That's pretty close. There we go. Alright, let's get back on the road here. It's funny, I don't mind this truck, but I'm really not a big fan of the inside, like, because it's so dark. So, like, I don't mind, if I'm not recording, it's fine, but if I am recording, then it becomes a bit of a problem just because it's like... Are you going to the first waypoint again? No, or maybe it's going to the combine, which is probably full almost, yeah. Did a couple headlands this time around, which I like to do. Let's request a driver here, because obviously those two guys, those two goons over there aren't coming over here. Yeah, there we go, good. But, yeah, I don't know. Doing two headlands in this field makes a lot of sense, because you have, like, those buildings over there. And one of the interesting things is when you actually have to set up a course by course, do stuff like that, it does make it a bit more interesting because what happens is it has a bit more space to maneuver without running into trees. Now, I only did 2 headlands, but I could have done like 3 or 4 perhaps, which might not have been a bad idea either, but just the way it goes. Also, here's a random little piece of information. So one of the really neat mods, I think it's by Upside Down, that I don't use very often, but it is a very cool mod. So if you see when I crouch down, it says sell fruit, choose fruit, silo fruit, and you'll see in the bottom right hand corner that I have it on a rye right now. So I can actually sell it. So I just crouch down and then sell it. So if you look at my money, it's gone up now. So it's kind of like, I don't know, hiring a contractor to sell your grain sort of idea. So I think it's kind of a neat little idea. It's one by Upside Down that he did. Just gonna turn this guy around here. I don't know, so it's one of those ones I don't use super often, but it is one of the neater ones that they have out there, so let's see what happens here. Guess I could just do this. And let's set it up so it stops at 100%. There we go. But it's kind of a neat little thing. It helps sometimes. Like, if you don't want to set up a course play course all the time, and you can just use that mod, which is kind of nice. Interestingly enough, what it actually does is it actually chooses the place with the highest sell value, so it'll automatically select the highest sell value. So if there's a great demand, it'll just go there, which is kind of neat. So it really makes that process easier. So like if you don't want to do like multiple trips, you can do that. Now the one caveat to using that particular mod is that it does cost you money to use. I think it's been a while. I think it's like 5,000. I think it's maybe it's not 5,000, but it's something like that. It's a certain amount of money associated with each load. So keep that in mind if you are going to use it. It's called like MH forwarding, I think is the name of it. That's such a random named mod, but anyways. All right, we've got a quick sip of coffee here. All right, so I have a quick question for you guys before I forget to ask it. Would you like to see this continue? This series, I mean. Would you like to see this series continue, or would you like me to start on a new map? I'll leave a poll in the top right-hand corner for that one, so let me know. I still like this map. I could play this map until like FS17 comes out quite easily, I think. But let me know. I do have plans for like what would it be? So like I guess it'd be like maybe a week or 2 weeks before the release of FS17. I'm gonna go check out a couple things before that happens, and then I think you guys will enjoy it. We'll see what happens though. Let's make the turn here. So, would you guys like to see it continue, or would you not like to see it continue? I'm game either way, really. Like I said, I could probably play this to the end of well, it's not the end of FS15, but it's just the starting of FS17, basically. So, I could easily go either way. I guess, is that Peterbilt full? Yeah, that is full. I don't know where the cat... Oh, he's over in the corner. He's way, way over there. Just chilling out over there doing nothing, basically. So one of the things I need to keep an eye out for is we planted alfalfa in field number 1. And I'm not sure how that's going to play out with the mowing equipment. It should be fine, assuming I have all the appropriate mods. I think it's, what is it, not green fertilizer, what's it called? Multi-mowing mod, I believe, is the one you need for it. So we'll see how it goes. And we were able to cut it before, so I don't know why we wouldn't be able to cut it now, but you never know. So I think what we'll do is I think we will chop it like last time. I think that was that worked out well. Because why not? Because we can. So my wife just woke up and she made coffee. So if any of you heard the grinder in the background, we always get whole beans of coffee and then we grind it up every morning. So it's super fresh. Although this coffee that we have right now isn't as great as the other coffee. We had espresso beans before and we were drinking it as coffee. It was fantastic. It was glorious every single morning. But we went to a different bean blend this morning, or last couple days, and it's not nearly as good. At least I don't think it's nearly as good. Do you like it better? She shakes her head just now. So we're in a... Do you concur? She concurs. If you've ever seen the movie, I think it's Catch Me If You Can, I think, with Leonardo DiCaprio. I think that's the movie where he pretends to be a doctor in the movie and he asks everybody, do you concur? And the doctor's like, yes, I concur. So that's become a thing lately. Also, on another side note related to doctors, if you've ever seen Spies Like Us, there's a really funny scene in that movie where Chevy Chase and Dan Aykroyd get... is it Chevy Chase? No, it's not Dan Aykroyd. Yeah, it's Chevy Chase and... It's not Dan Aykroyd, is it? I thought it was Steve... Anyways, so they get into this tent, and when they're in this tent, there's like all doctors and like, you know, work for United Way or something like that, some charity organization. Anyways, when they're greeting all the doctors, they're like, "This is Doctor, you know, Dr. Frankenfurter," and it's like Doctor, and it's like, "This is Dr. Jones," and it's like Doctor, and as we went through like all of it, so it's all you hear is like as they're introduced to everybody, they all say Doctor, and as they leave the tent, they all say Doctor too. It's pretty funny. So like the whole scene is like Doctor, 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 Doctor. Anyways, check it out. I'm sure there's a clip of it on YouTube. It's pretty funny. It's a funny movie too. It's an old movie. It's some of you may have seen it, some of you may not have seen it. It's I guess from the 80s, I want to say, maybe. I'm not exactly sure. Where's that cat truck? He's supposed to be coming over here. By the time he gets over here, he'll be done. Jeez. So it looks like we can do about two passes, almost looks like, something along that range, before it's done. So we don't actually own this field, but we've been we've been graciously given all the not given the fields, but allowed to harvest the fields. Now, I guess the other farmers don't want their fields to go to waste, and they don't have the appropriate equipment, so they're allowing us to harvest their fields. There we go. Get to the end of the pass here. So, like, because it's so close, like I said, with the so like the farm's like right behind us, right there. So I haven't bothered setting up an overloader, even though I have one right now. But I probably will at some point. So like the yield's not super high either. So like just because the nutrients aren't super great either. So it's like what 57% moisture, which is ideal. 2% or 2N, 1N, 1 PK. So that's pretty low. So unfortunately, not the best combination. But that's the reason. If we were getting like super high yield, then maybe I would set up an overloader. It would make it a bit more appropriate. But right now, it's not a big deal. So. Just because the yield's not super high. And I got the cat right there. And I got the Peterbilt dump truck right over here too. I do like this dump truck. I might have to tinker with it to make it a bit faster. But other than that, 60 kilometers an hour actually is a safe speed for the way I often drive, so it's not too bad. I think I wouldn't mind having like this with like a different what do you even call it? Not dump trailer, but trailer. I don't know, you can call it box, I guess is what I'm thinking of. Wouldn't mind having it with a different box, but alas, I do not. Well, it's not true. I probably could do it, but it would not be very pretty. And like you have to find a nice box to replace it, which is sometimes the hardest part. And last time I tried to tinker around with it, I tried to make a GMC truck with a TMR mixer on it. Didn't go my way. I have seen them before in FS13, but they weren't like an American style one. Like often you'll see like a GMC truck or like maybe like a Chevy or a Ford truck with like a TMR mixer on the back, just because they have a lot of animals. So like for example, you'd see that Peterbilt with something like feeding technology, something like this maybe, like with a bigger truck, or something like this maybe with a smaller truck. So that's what I tend to see a lot of. No, not a lot of it, but you do see it from time to time. So c'est la vie, I suppose. Excellent. Let's go ahead and not request driver. Let's see how far off we are in comparison to course play. Well, actually, we're not doing too badly. So I'm just gonna take GPS off for a second, and what I want to do is, do I have anything over by the shop? I have things over by the shop, but not a vehicle over by the shop. Do I have anything super cheap I could just buy so I can just jump over there? No. Nothing super cheap. No, I guess this is super cheap, but I really don't want to just buy that. So we'll do it this way then. We'll just reset it back to the main farm there. And go take a quick gander at it, because we need to move that back there too. And the meridian. Okay. There we go. Let's get back here, and funny enough, let me tell you a little story about how this equipment made its way into this shed. The other day I was sitting down, just playing a little bit of farm sim. My wife comes in, and for whatever reason, she ends up putting away the equipment in the shed. So this is a pretty good job, I have to admit. It's not easy to control some of these vehicles sometimes, even with the steering wheel. So anyways, my wife put most of this equipment away. She put the Great Plains away, she put the Kuhn Kraus away. She got fed up with this one and just left it there. That's fine, I probably would have done the same thing. So she did a good job though. It was just funny, because I think it's the first time she's ever done something like that. So anyhow, that's the story of how the equipment made. Some of it's what? Yeah, she's just commenting that she did it in real life. Of course you've done it in real life. You grew up on a farm. So anyways, let's go check out that seed tender, the Meridian. I know Donald likes the Meridian quite a bit. And Norm, which is the one, Norm, who is the person who pointed it out to me, he said it was really good too. Now apparently you can use it to like pick up grain and unload grain as well, but I have not done that yet. So far, I've just used it. I haven't used it at all, basically, because I haven't seeded anything, but it will come. But that's the Seed Express. I thought it was just called a Seed Express. Nice looking seed trailer. They did a good job on the modeling. I don't know if it was purchased, though. It may have been, but that's that. And there's the Kins, which is apparently just... I don't know what happened here. I reset it, and obviously it... It wasn't me. That's all I have to say. I just reset it, and that's how it ended up there, so... Anyhow. That's too funny. It wasn't me. Anyways, folks, what I'll do is I'll end the episode there. Let me know about ending the series and starting a new map. Let me know about that. Like I said, I can go either way. I don't know why. I really like this map. Despite some of its FPS issues. It's not too bad. What on earth just happened to that truck? Did you guys see that? Oh, if you didn't see that truck, go back go back like 30 seconds and see what that truck just did. I'll show you what it looks like now. I have no idea how it managed to do this. It was making a turn and it managed to flip over, like on its roof. I don't know what the heck happened there. And on that bombshell, as Jeremy Clarkson would say, have a good night. Anyways, folks, that'll be it for me today. Like I said before, my name's Iain Robson. I hope you enjoyed. And apparently this truck is having a little bit of issues. It's trying to drive too, which is funny. Alright, catch you guys later. My name's Iain Robson again. Later.